Kaypacha with the weekly Pele report for August 28th, 2019. It's a Wednesday. Moon is still in Leo, but tomorrow she goes into Virgo along with Mercury. So then we've got Moon, Mercury, Sun, Venus, Mars, all in Virgo. Traveling together in trine to Uranus, in trine to Saturn. Look at that grand trine going on over there. Yeah, in the chart beforehand. It's super beautiful. We've got the new moon at 6 degrees, 46 minutes of Virgo on Friday. Yeah. And then, of course, by Saturday, she moves into Libra. But we've just got Sun conjunct Mars on Monday. Mercury's catching up. So we've got the Sun conjunct Mercury on Tuesday. Okay, and Venus is kind of moving away. Okay, she's passed up the Sun and Mars, and she's heading out there. Yeah, so she's actually exactly trine Saturn on Sunday, and then she comes into a square with Jupiter on Monday, and it's all going on. It's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful conglomeration. But as we'll see when I look at the camera, that there's a lot more going on underneath. Yeah? All right. Let's look at the camera.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the new moon in Virgo. Setting off quite a month. The new moon is the seed. So we're sowing the seed for the next 30 days. And that seed is part of this grand trine going on in earth signs. Saturn in the south node up in Capricorn. Uranus over there in Taurus. And Mercury, Sun, Mars, all together there in Virgo. Like I said, Venus is kind of moving away. But, she's probably hanging out just to, check out the new moon. And of course, the moon is going to pass over Venus shortly after that new moon. So this is a lot about Earth and a lot about Virgo. And I see Virgo as, like I've said before, it's a sign of initiation. The axis of Virgo Pisces. Virgo is the initiation from the self, Leo, to transpersonal relationships in Libra, and Pisces is the initiation, of our collective consciousness in Aquarius to cosmic consciousness, spiritual, oneness, multidimensional. So this initiation is not always easy. I mean, there are tests and there are challenges and there are issues and things come up for us. Virgo is associated with crisis and humility. It's that, Leo, self, fullness of the self that then needs to humble itself. Everybody's going to serve somebody. And we need to really look at how we can best fit in, how we can best belong, and how we can best relate. So Virgo is this, integration, and this is a powerful time of integration. And it's not always an easy time. What Virgo does, Virgo is the engineer that wants to fix ourselves and fix our health and fix our relationships and fix other people and fix the world. And then when that can't always happen, we run into these forces beyond our control. And there's a lot, because the more we move into the age of Aquarius, the more we move into the collective consciousness, and we start looking at World Wide Web and 5G and, how much air is there when the Amazon burns or whatever. And, all these kinds of issues, climate change. There's all these, collective issues kind of impinging on, reminding each and every one of us that we are not alone. And so, this is like it's work. It's work. And we may be having health crisis, work crisis, relationship crisis, needing to fit in, needing to belong, needing to refine ourselves and bring more of ourselves to each and every relationship, each and every job, each and everything. So Virgo can be pretty demanding, and we can get pretty self-analytical, and we can get pretty analytical and judgmental about what's going on around us. And then that can turn into what? Well, there's also health problems. There's sleep problems. There's the inability to relax. There can be stomach problems, digestive problems. This is all kind of coming up as we have a hard time digesting our reality. We have a hard time just kind of like accepting and, letting go of what's not serving us, letting go. So this is just a period where, there's a lot that's going to come up. And I know this is a weekly report, but if we look at this next month that's coming up, we're going to have that first quarter square. The moon is going to be conjunct Jupiter, right? And squaring Neptune. And then that full moon is going to come around and it'll be conjunct Neptune. And there's this whole kind of thing going on right now. And I said it for this year. It really is about looking into and deciphering what is true and making it you, making it me. And I just think of that, this whole thing. I'm always reminded of the Buddhist that got cancer. And the Rinpoche said to him, now you have an opportunity to do your work at a deeper level. Now you get to manage this. You get to handle this. You get to be able to try and stay in your core and stay in your center and not get pulled off by an illness or pulled off, by work or pulled off by world news. And this is part of our challenge, is balancing this Virgo desire to fix it and heal it and get it right and straighten out, the world and blah, 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 and balancing that with Pisces. Neptune over there in Pisces. All is one and one is all. And it's all purposeful. And there's a divine intelligence behind everything that is happening. And there are no accidents. And we are in a learning process. I gotta say, the soul, which is also like life, can be very cruel. It can be very challenging. It can be very hard. The soul wants to evolve. And it doesn't really care so much about our ego desires and our ego needs and our ego fears. It's always pushing us towards that north node, towards that Pluto polarity point, to grow, to evolve, to move into liberation. And let's not forget reincarnation. The soul can even be ruthless when it comes to life and death. You've got another life. This is one life in thousands of lives. It's just, and you're like, wait a minute. This is my life. And the soul is like, yeah, well, get it together. Oh, man. So yeah, the way I see it here is we've got this Pluto, and I'm preparing now for module 4, where we're talking about chart analysis, and Pluto is where we start. And this Pluto is very powerful. I'm going to do a whole nother video on Pluto. Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto coming around to the United States, Pluto. for its first Pluto return. This Pluto in Capricorn is just like, talk about, Pluto is forces beyond our control, like death, taxes, inheritance, insurance, other people, power, other people's money. That's why it's banks and stuff like that. And it's going through this Capricorn, which is governments, right? And large institutions and large corporations. And it's just like, we can really feel powerless in the face of everything that's going on in the big picture. Down on Wall Street, trade wars with China, Amazon forests. I mean, all the stuff that's coming up can make us feel like we've got less power, less power, less power, less power. And we can get really tripped out. We can get very worried. We can get very concerned. And this is healthy. This is how we heal the planet. This is how we grow into this age of Aquarius. But there's a boundary. There's a line where it becomes obsessive compulsive, where we can't control our thoughts and we can't stop thinking about something or someone or some illness, and we're just like dwelling on and making it grow. So, it's like energy follows attention. And we really need to like discipline, and this is the beauty about the grand trine. This new moon in trine to Saturn in Capricorn is to really come into this objective elder that, whether we've got kids and we need to like be a model or an example for our children, or, we're in a position of authority where other people are looking up to us or listening to us. It's really time to not just be caught up in our personal dramas, but really come into this place of service. And that service requires self-control, some self-discipline, right? Some endurance with the situation. We have to understand we're birthing a new age, a new paradigm. We are entering into, right, the birth canal. And it's dark and scary, and we may be feeling pushed. Collectively, I think we are being pushed. It's like, wake up, look at what you're doing to each other and the planet. I mean, we are getting pushed, and we're getting pushed into this point of chaos where the old doesn't work and the new is not there yet. And we're in this place of this great flux. And it can be tempting to what? And here's where we want to really stay in our core, our center. And we need to balance these opposites, where we work, and we analyze and we diet and we fix and we, do our yoga and our exercises and and we just like, and then what? Boing. I need a drink, I need a toke, I need a vacation, I need some ayahuasca, I need to like step out, I need some opioids, I need some painkillers, I need to let go and just absolutely excarnate. I want to just like let go and get out of this. It's too much, it's too intense. And so we bounce out of ourselves. And we surrender all control, all responsibility, all duty, and maybe even undo all the work that we just did to achieve something and go somewhere. So this is going to be a self-sabotage kind of a time where we do too much of Virgo, and then it sends us out into too much of Pisces, which is just like passive, whatever, I give up, it's the white flag, just. And then, of course, there's a greater, bigger mess, maybe our health goes farther down the drain, or we lose our freaking job because we didn't show up or whatever, and then we have to come back to Virgo. and do it, and work even harder than we were before until it's like, so we're on this kind of teeter-totter, and you just want to really be in this place, of acceptance, but also, responsible service, working, not giving up, not, absolutely throwing up our arms. And so that's what this mantra is about, right? I can get worried that, what? I can get worried with all that is wrong. Got some judgment happening. What are our priorities? What's true for us? What's meaningful? What's important? This is all kind of coming up now for each and every one of us. This is what Virgo is about, discriminating. This is what crisis is about. What is your real priority? When the rubber hits the road, you may talk, dream, fantasize, but when it boils down to doing it, that's what Virgo is about, right? You got to make it happen. So, I can get worried with all that is wrong. So I need to remember that it all belongs, and spend more time with the sea and the stars and the sun. When you find yourself maybe getting burned out, exhausted, Epstein Barr or whatever, it's just like, okay, it's time to retreat. It's time to go into meditation. It's time to go into astrology. The stars and the sun remind us. Astrology reminds us, this too shall pass. These are all cycles. And we're all part of this great collective consciousness. So it really is helpful to have a spiritual practice to balance out all, of this work and the daily routine and the daily grind. So yeah, I can get worried with all that is wrong. So I need to remember that it all belongs. All these people, all these challenges, all these problems that we're facing collectively and individually, it all belongs to our karma. It all belongs to our evolutionary process. There is a powerful divine intelligence driving the whole freaking universe. And we are just one little tiny planet. Ow! So I need to spend more time with the sea and the stars and the sun. I almost said the moon and the stars and the sun because I kept thinking of that Beatles song, that we all shine on, like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on. It was just great. I changed it to sea because, I went whale watching and I got the video of a mama and a baby. It's at the end of this, and mama coming up, and baby, whoop, coming up. So beautiful. The ocean and the sea. And where that ocean meets the horizon, the blue ocean with the blue sky is like infinity. You got to spend some time out on the playa, looking at where the sea stops and the sky begins, and be reminded of the infinite nature of creation, of our souls, of our spirits, and watch that sunset, and know that after every sunset there's going to be another sunrise, and there's all kinds of chaos going down on this planet, but just like that opera chord or that symphony where it's the augmented seventh, kind of resolves into the major. So let's do a major transition, starting with self, starting with where my attention is, where my focus is, where my health is, how open my heart is, how able I am to love and accept that all this madness belongs in some way, shape, or form. There are other souls that need to hear this or experience that or, master that. And so this is like a huge, huge opportunity. This is the Uranus trine coming in from Taurus. Uranus is like really, new ways of dealing with things. Like the whole planet kind of, donates money to put out the Amazon forest fire, right? And there is this, the bigger the problem, the more powerful tools of consciousness are developed to solve that problem. So just know when the problems seem overwhelming, it's the universe or source, just like really calling us to develop our consciousness that's going to resolve those problems. And it's going to work out. It's going to work out. It may not be our lifetime. It may not even be this planet. But it's all going to work out. Yeah. One more time. I can get worried with all that is wrong. I need to remember that it all belongs and spend more time with the sea, the stars, and the sun. Yeah. May you spend some time with the sea and the stars and the sun. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.